Hi, I'm Rob the accountant. I got you. Today, I'm a little upset. I'm actually not just a little upset. I'm pretty pissed off. I want to thank MotleyRice.com LLC. And what we're going to talk about today is Saudi Arabia and our presidents and America and our courts. And this bullshit just has to stop. I'm tired of it. So, Motley Rice taking action against the supporters of terrorism. On behalf of 600 Pioneer survivors and family members of victims of the September 11th attacks, Motley Rice has filed a civil action in August 2002 aimed at holding responsible the individuals, banks, corporations, and charities historically implicated in sponsoring Al-Qaeda's terrorist activities. So as we can see over here, there's been some action on this that folks can go and look at and read. I'm not going to rehash things. I think everybody in America is completely familiar with 9/11. But I want to look at some things that, people should follow up on. I was just reading this here. The judge in 9/11 suit feels no regret that none ever went to trial. We'll have to dive into that another time. But the U.S. government, Senate passes bill allowing 9/11 victims to sue Saudi Arabia. Administration wrong about terrorism sponsor acts. So these are all notes and things and articles published. And I would suggest everybody go through them because I just get lost sometimes. I understand the U.S. government's position is to protect us and to make the country safe in a world full of bad actors. But this is bullshit, and I'm going to show you why. Okay? So let's just jump what set me off today. This is what set me off today. The PGA Tour agrees to merge with Saudi-backed rival Live Golf. Why does Saudi Arabia even want to be here playing golf and everything, right? Because they're trying to wash their image. Saudi Arabia is a Muslim country, believe wasabi Muslim is it. I ain't got no problem. Have your religion. That's the whole country. 90% of the people in Saudi Arabia do not work. Its workforce is 90% foreign. It's got more princesses and kings and whatever you want to call it. It hangs people for very small crimes. It has a very archaic justice system. It's funny, Biden goes and bothers Uganda for its anti-gay law, but the same anti-gay laws are in all of the Middle East. Every single one of anti-gay laws are in the Middle East. Why doesn't our government say anything about that? So I just don't get this idea is why Americans want to go play golf with people. They don't dress like us. They don't have the same belief structure as us. And regardless of how you believe, Osama bin Laden is Saudi descent. 13 of the 19 hijackers or 17 hijackers, whoever cares, there's probably more of them. They're all from Saudi Arabia. I just wonder sometimes, like if all the hijackers came from, let's say hypothetically, Chad and Africa, or Uganda, right? How would those countries be under occupation today? But what bothers me is my court system and my presidents. Because on one hand, the PGA, by the way, they were in Rochester, New York a couple weeks ago. And it's great. They get a whole bunch of people to volunteer for them. They don't pay anybody, people. They don't know this. Most of the people working for the PGA, there are a lot of volunteers. And they pay some people there, but it's nowhere near the volunteer count. And so my son went to the golf court game and couldn't see anybody because the crowds are so big. And you got to take buses here and there. And the players, they don't really interact with anybody. They're not like, Josh Allen from the Bills. He'll get out there, he'll shake your hand, he'll sign some things for you. And he's an NFL quarterback. He doesn't have to do that. But these guys, they really got to a high-end chip on their shoulder. So they're looking at things in a different realm than we are. So what I'm upset about is that they have settled now, because you can't sue the kingdom, which has unlimited oil for the rest of its life, and your PGA, which is an association, and win that. And so why would you have to merge? Why would you have to go through any of that? So I apologize about that. I had to grab the door real quickly, but the PGA Tour agrees to merge with Saudi-backed rival Live Golf. And all these things would be perfectly fine in a normal world. But we don't live in the normal world. We live in a world where our presidents have still, to this day, sought to shield Saudi Arabia from 9/11. Why? Listen, just let it come out. What's the problem? U.S. presidents, from CNN Politics, U.S. presidents have sought to shield Saudi Arabia from U.S. lawsuits, citing the need for national security and to protect Americans from retaliatory lawsuits. I don't understand that. This is what I mean. On one hand, Saudi Arabia can come here. They get to use the courts to sue the PGA, right? But then over here, where we have accountability for those courts that most people have the ability to, right? You know, product liability versus somebody getting harmed, your ability to sue somebody, right? Then over here, they say sovereign immunity. So they get it both ways. They get to be the plaintiff against American companies, American interests, American citizens. And then when American interests and American companies and American citizens sue them, they get to say sovereign immunity. Right? That's what they get to do. Where is this nonsense and this protection? Why aren't the families of 9/11 entitled to everything? It's no different than any war or any other attack. We want to get to the bottom of it. Those people lost people who were close to them, their family members. There's a lot of money that was spent to rebuild New York City. Sure, it's a national security event, but don't you think, hey, look at the end of World War II, we went and got Hitler. Bam, he's out of here, right? I mean, he killed himself. See ya. So if we find that somebody in the royal family, up in their level, whoever they are, because the royal family's huge, people. We're not talking like 4 or 5 people. Now, you could be a couple thousand people in the royal family. All right? So it doesn't have to go all the way to the top to the king. We're not saying that. We're just saying, what if somebody who believes in their thing? We should know. All right? The Trump administration fought against the release. Obama vetoed a congressional effort to authorize 9/11 families to sue Saudi Arabian federal court. Okay. Thanks, Obama. Woohoo! But they can sue the PGA, right? They can sue the PGA. Well, what's the difference? This is you don't have a corner in the judicial system in the United States of America. You just simply don't have a corner. So, thank God it was the only time during his presidency that Congress overrode an Obama veto. And they should have. But it doesn't matter, because nothing comes of it. Here we are. It's 2023. 9/11 was 2001. Right? It's over 20 years. But the same government, right? The same government that kills an American journalist in an embassy, cuts him up, puts him in a suitcase. We had another American held in Massachusetts by the Egyptian government. What is this? What is this world we're living in? Why are our presidents going against us? Does anyone have an answer? I don't. Why is accountability only good for the January 6th protesters, or the Black Lives Matter protesters, or the people who are speeding, or the people who are harming people, which all this is good accountability. We need it. But why, when the actors who do the most harm, they get off scot-free? And then they laugh at us. Because then they go and Biden has to go. And he lets this little whoever he is, and all these, look at these people. I mean, in America, we complain sometimes that an administration is just one-sided in how it looks or what it does. This is no different. These people use us because right now they've got black gold. And when they got black gold, because this guy, Joe Biden, won't open the Keystone Pipeline, decides it's better to drill in Alaska for oil, which I don't know why we're doing that. That doesn't make any sense. Just open what Canada has. Boom, take 20%. It's not a big deal. Why do we keep protecting them? They don't have any standing army. They use our planes. When Iran sends a missile at their facilities, we protect them. Just seems like this is 100% of a relationship where the Saudis have 99% of the power and the Americans have 1% of the power. And so what do they give us for this? Do they give us anything? Besides the PGA and Live Golf, which now means you're going to have all this new integration of what? You know, I don't want religious organizations in American society. I don't want religious organizations at NASCAR. I would like politics out of the NFL and the NBA. But why? You know, everybody in the world always says America is all over the place and our footprint's too big. But why is Saudi Arabia in the middle of the desert with plenty of regional rivalries that they have? Why do they want to come here? Because they know where the money is. But they need to come and answer for this guy. They need to. Because what if this was your family member? I want to give you an example. Natalie Holloway. Just Google her name. Natalie Holloway. Her mother is a champion. And she has been fighting for justice for her daughter. And she's got part of it. She probably won't get it all. But that's because she's an American and who she's fighting for, her dead daughter is a country of an alignment with us. Not a country that sends its citizens and its ideology to run planes into our buildings and allows the likes of bin Laden to grow. He was one of them. This is not somebody who was just not there. Bin Laden was an arm of the Saudi Arabian government. He fought the people in Afghanistan, right? That was their jihad, their whole thing. No. So this is what frustrates me today. I'm tired of our presidents. And by the way, in regards to President Biden's trip, nobody talks about it because our gas is $5. And we have a couple states now that want to make your heating bills even more expensive. They want to take gas, but looks like the federal courts have stopped that for a minute. But they'll try again. You know, everybody here wants us to be dependent on these guys over there. And I'm not going to do it no more. I'm never going to buy an electric car. Sorry, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to put my children or my grandchildren on lithium batteries that incinerate them when they crash. I'm not going to do that. I like gas. It's not a problem for me. I breathe pretty fine. Everybody in the United States breathes pretty fine. What we have a problem with is tainted water because we got trains with chemicals flipping over in the water, and we're not dealing with that because we're too busy over here kissing these people's asses. And so what is the result of that ass kissing? They received promises, Mr. Biden, from Saudi Arabia to increase oil production during the summer months, extend the truce in Yemen, and support the new American Partnership for Infrastructure and Global Investment. Saudi Arabia emerged as a big winner of the visit for several reasons. First and most obviously, President Biden had to walk back his promise to limit relationships with Saudi Arabia because green energy and selling out America is more important than protecting Americans who have been killed. This is so weird to me because I thought George Bush went and they got this guy named Saddam, and they just bing, it's just 1 minute he's here, 1 minute he's not here. But we don't do that with people who kill Americans in broad daylight. So what did they give us? Nothing. Second, Saudi Arabia did not succumb to the Biden administration's pressure to normalize relations with Israel. Instead, reminding Biden that solving the Palestinian-Israeli conflict is a necessary condition to stabilize the region. And that whole issue is a different issue, and I'm not interjecting on that right now. But no help again. And third, MBS sent clear signals to the Biden administration that he would reciprocate their treatment. He refused to receive President Biden at the airport, sending instead the governor of Mecca to receive him. Furthermore, in response to Biden's speech about the importance of respecting human rights and dissidents, MBS reminded him of American double standards on human rights, citing the Israeli killing of Palestinian journalists and the American abuse of prisoners at Gitmo. Really? Where are all the political prisoners in Saudi Arabia? Where's Khashoggi? Do I say his name? I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm terrible with pronunciation. Where's that? Okay. But, okay, Biden, I wouldn't have gone. If I had showed up and the governor of Mecca showed there, I would have left. I'm just going to leave it alone today. I hope everybody in America, I hope you guys all go support your new Golf. I hope you all love hanging out with the Saudis and Jack Nicholson. I hope you appreciate all these millionaires who don't care about any of us while we pay $5 for gas in our tank, and while we pay a lot of money for our utilities and our homes. And by the way, the ticket to the PGA was $100 for a bad seat. So I just don't understand what we're doing. Are we for us? Or are we for everybody else? China, Russia, Saudi Arabia. We have our own resources. We have the ability to solve all of our problems. We've been doing it just fine. But in the last 20 years, the presidential race has turned into a shit show. And each side is catering to the farthest position of their side. And you just get lunacy. And I keep trying to tell everybody this. Trump's silent majority is not what he thinks it is. The silent majority in America is the W-2 majority. Look at your paychecks, people. Look at your paychecks. Look at your bills. Look at your lives. Look at your property taxes. And then understand that's because we have presidents that protect killers. We have presidents that shield terrorists. And we have American courts that allow belligerents, foreign belligerents, to use our courts to beat up American citizens and American people and American companies, while at the same time using those same courts to declare sovereign immunity. I'm Rob the accountant. I got you. And this nonsense has to stop. And I just hope all of you, I never was in the PGA, so I don't really care. I miss the old Tiger Woods PC PGA golf games, EA. So if you want to do that, that would be pretty cool. But I won't be going to no PGA. And I won't be going to no Live Golf. And I will continue to bring a voice and help those families who feel like something happened at 9/11 until they can get the answers that they need and our president stop blocking them. Have a good day.